In this short video, we're looking at dividing with decimal answers. So let's have a look at a couple of questions that would give us a decimal answer. First one is Emma has raised £4,509 for her charity in a year. How much did she raise on average each month? Another question might be, if Tom typically visits 12 clients per day and his client base is 4,509, how many days would it take for him to visit all his clients? For both of these questions, the calculation that needs to be carried out is 4,509 divided by 12. In other words, how many 12s fit into 4,509? So let's have a look at that. We've got 4,509 divided by 12. If we're dividing by 12, the best thing to do would be to set yourself up your 12 times table. So you've got 12, 24, 36, 48, and so on. Okay. Now what you can do, nothing to say that you have to do that in your head. We've got 48 so far. Let's add another 12. That gives us 60. And add another 12. That takes you to 72. Keep using your notes. Add another 12. That takes you to 84. And so on. And I will continue the remainder in my head. Okay. Now what I have done here though, is I've got down to 120. Now that is 10 times 12. We know that. Okay, now if I'd got to that point and I'd got to 122 or 124, then hopefully I'd have recognised that I've obviously made a mistake. So once you go up to your 10 times your number, you should be able to see if you've got roughly the right numbers in your division before you actually start doing the calculation. Okay. Right, so now we've got 4,509 divided by 12. What's really important is that the 4,509 is the number that goes inside the box, and then we put a decimal point, and let's put 3 zeros in there just in case, because we don't know how far past the decimal we're going to go today. What's really important is that you go straight above it and you put the decimal point in above the line as well. So that's the 4,509 sorted out. Now we're going to divide by 12, and that goes on the outside. Okay, so the first part here is we're going to see how many 12s go into 4. Well, if I've got 4 and I share it out by 12, I'm not going to get a whole number answer. So therefore, I can't. So I'm going to put a 0 here. But we still haven't shared out that 4. If you went shopping and you didn't spend your money, you wouldn't leave that money behind. So it's the same when it comes to division. If you haven't shared it out, carry it forward, take it with you. There we go. So we now have an answer. We have now carried that forward so that we've got 45 next to it. So we're now going to look at 12s into 45. There we go. Well, 45 is bigger than 12, so we know we can do something this time. Now that 45 over here, 45 sits here on the times tables. It sits in between the 36 and the 48. Okay, so that means that we've got 1, 2, 3 lots of 12 in 45. Okay, so if we did 3 times 12, we can see from our times table that actually gives us an answer of 36. But if you look at the highlighted green number that we were working with, we were sharing out 45. So the difference between those two numbers is 9, which means we've still got 9 we haven't shared out. So we have a remainder of 9. So we need to pop that up here. Okay, so now we are looking at how many 12s go into 90. Okay, well this one's not so bad, look. Okay, so 90 sits in between 84 and 96. Okay, so that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots of 12. That takes us up to just under 90. So we know the answer to that is 7. So 7 times 12 we can see from our times table is 84. But our highlighted number was 90. So that means we have 6 that we have not yet shared out. Okay. So let's carry that forward. And we bring the 6 up here. There we are. Now we've got 69. that need sharing out. Okay. Now 69 is sitting here on our times table. Let's go through this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 12 makes 60. So our answer in here is 5. So let's just keep track of that. We just did 5 lots of 12 is 60. But we were sharing out. Have a look at the green highlighted number again. We were sharing out 69. So we have a remainder of 9 to carry forward. And now we go past the decimal point. We do not put the remainders at the top. We put the remainder next to the 0 that is after the decimal point. And that's why it's really important when you're dividing by a number to have a couple of spare zeros so you've got somewhere to put your remainder, because that's where the biggest point of confusion comes when it comes to dividing and getting a decimal answer. So now we're looking at 12s into 90 again. Okay, and we already know from here where 90 sits on our number line. Okay, so let's just tidy this up a little bit. So we're now looking again at how many 12s go into 90, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. Okay, so 7 times 12 equals 84, and the green highlighted number was 90, so we've got a remainder of 6. With the difference now, that 6 is going to sit next to a 0. Okay. So now we're looking at how many 12s go into 60. And if you look here, 60 is actually in the times tables. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 12 is 60. So we've got 5. And because 5 lots of 12 is the 60 that we've got highlighted, we've got no remainders. So we now have our answer. So that gives us an answer of 375.75. Okay, so going back to our question that we had before, that means that Emma raised on average £375.75. Or going back to Tom's one, that means that he's going to take just under 376 days to see all his clients. And hopefully that helps. Do take time to replay the video, pause it, rewind it as you need to. But hopefully that will now help you be able to divide to get decimal answers.